Okay, so we've got a bit of time before the game officially starts. Why don't I quickly show you around TribesAscend. This is a map called Katabatic. It's actually going to be the first map we're seeing tonight. As you can see, CTF, there's two flags on the map. You've got the Blood Eagle flag, and you've got the Diamond Sword flag. CTF, as I say, 25 minutes is the time limit, or first to 5. And the end goal, obviously, if you have no idea what CTF is, in which case you should probably start playing video games, is you have to get this flag to this base. And let's talk from the side of Diamond Sword, which is the blue flag. So obviously you've got 7 players in a team. You need to distribute your 7 players effectively, and obviously with your 7 players you've got many classes to use. Now I don't know what class of the players in this game are going to have unlocked. By default you get Soldier and you get Pathfinder. Pathfinder's a light class, Soldier's a medium class, and I'm not sure if you get a heavy class as well, but there are heavy classes, albeit not used as much. In a typical CTF game, you'd usually have one heavy player sitting on the flag. It's his job to defend this flag from any flag cappers coming in. Now, top players move in for this flag at around about 300 kilometers an hour. I'm not sure the kind of speeds we're going to see today, but the heavy's really useful because he just needs to sit there and block the carriers coming in. Now, with him, he of course does have people supporting him on defense. Usually you have the medium classes. They're sort of a best of everything role, and depending on how you want to split the team, you'll either have 2 or 3, because obviously you've got 7 players. You either have 4 on D and 3 on attack, or you have 3 on D and 4 on attack. In my opinion right now, the game heavily favours the offensive side of things, so probably best to have 3 on defence and 4 on attack. So you might have 2 soldiers, and these soldiers would stand sort of on this point here, on this point here, or they'd float around and kill incoming players. As for the offenders, the offensive side of things, they obviously need to get this flag. Now, you usually have a light class called a Pathfinder because he can gain speed very quickly. As I say, not sure how adapt the 2 teams today playing are going to be. But whether you've got 3 or 4 people attacking the flag is irrelevant. What is relevant is that you make sure 1 or 2 of the players are going to have their sole focus on grabbing this flag off the stand, whilst you have the remaining offenders disrupting. And by disrupting, you'll be throwing stuff up onto the stand, so on and so forth. So if I go really high in the sky like this, and I add my little script over here, we'll get rid of this, shall we? Where are we? There we go. Okay, so obviously goal is to get, actually I need to lock this. Goal is to get the flag off the stand here, where you can see I'm just colouring in a really ugly red colour. To do that, you'll see flag cappers. Sometimes they'll come around this way to get the flag, or other times they'll go around this way to get the flag, or other times they'll come around this way to get the flag. So you can see, assuming you've got a good flag route going on, the flag can go away at different positions. Now, whilst it's doing that, as I say, you've got the other attacking players. Their job is to disrupt. It doesn't necessarily have to kill the defenders, but they do have to knock them around the flag stand to make it easier to get off. So you might have a guy back here who is spamming down. You might have a guy down here who's spamming up. And you might have a player that actually gets onto the base right here and, you know, does some close range damage. So for example, this guy could be a soldier in my really ugly text. I'm not even sure if you can read that. I should probably increase the size of it. This guy would be a soldier, and these 2 could be raiders, and they have better grenade launchers. And then you have the red guy is like a Pathfinder, for example. But that's the goal. One guy grabbing the flag, the other guy is disrupting, and hopefully that's what we might see today. Both of the teams rather, selecting 1 or 2 of their players to try and get the flag off the stand, with the other offensive players disrupting. Now if we go down from to the defender's perspective here, and how it's going to look like, obviously if you're on the flag you have limited view. So what some people like to do is they like to have a sniper, and this sniper sits on this back hill here, and then he can see all the way around, and he then can call for the defenders on the flag stand where players are coming into the game. So there's a lot of strategy involved in TribesAscend, and to be honest with you, it's more about strategy than it is about aim. So if you come from a game like Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, Quake Live, sure, you might have great aim, but you're not going to have the coordination down to a T, because if you're on defense, you've got to think about how they're going to attack you, and they're all going to come into you at the same time. Good coordinated team. Obviously, we might not see that here today. There's a bit of a press show match going on, showing the game off to various websites and so on and so forth. But assuming they did have a good offense, they're all going to come in around about the same time, which means as they come in, the flag carrier is going to swoop away with this grab. So having a sniper or someone on the back kill just calling various flag cappers coming in helps immensely. And assuming the flag does get off the base, you obviously need to chase it. Or if both flags are off both bases, you need to then decide within your team which flag you're going to defend, whether you're going to try and bring the enemy flag back to your base and therefore coordinate your entire team to go and support that, or whether you're going to split it up and have half of your team go and try and retreat the flag and half of the team trying to get their flag back to your base. But long story short, a lot of things are going to happen in this game, and most of which we're not going to really be able to cover. What we will try and do is watch the incoming flag cappers as they make their way through the maps. So, for example, let me just give you a bit of an idea of what a good, or sort of not a good, because I'm not a great flag capper, let's be honest here. What an average flag capper run would look like. So, let's say we spawn here for Diamond Sword, the blue team. I'm going to do a sort of front to back route. By that I mean I'm going to sort of go into the flag from the front. I'm going to exit through the back. So obviously you can rocket jump in this game, which is great. You've got a regeneration on a 14-second delay. So hopefully by the time I get to the flag my health would have regened. And this is a very quick route. But right about now my team would be disrupting. I failed it, but I would have grabbed the flag. Let me do this again and not flop. So again, we'll do the same route, won't fail this time. Getting as high as I can. Remember guys, it doesn't matter if you stop still in the air, it's all about keeping the speed on the way down and hitting the hill at the right angle as to not damage yourself, like I did there. Going about 185, I should get this flag a lot quicker. My health regen's kicked in on that 14-second delay. I've got the flag, and now I'm going to go up this hill. Now remember, if there was an enemy team, there could be a sniper on top of here. Now, where I've just shot. Now I would have my offensive teammates, as soon as they've cleared the flag for me, deal with the sniper, and then I can continue to make my way back to the base using nitron grenades, my sort of belt item, to boost myself without taking as much damage. And eventually make it back to my flag. So I don't expect we'll see fantastic Pathfinder runs. I'm not quite sure how much the teams have played. But if you were playing a competitive game, and you can get all the information on competitive tribes at spinfuser.org, this is the kind of things you would see, and I really recommend you give it a go. The game is free to play, so do check it out after this matchup. But I'll do one last front to back run, shall we? In fact, let's see if we can do a quick fast route, or route if you're American and listening. Again, most of the setup routes for Pathfinder start at spawn. So you can see now I'm just going to go back on myself and gain a bit of speed. And this one's going to be a right to left route. So if you imagine looking at the flag from here, it's coming in from the right and exiting through the left. So I do a rocket jump here. Or it's not a rocket jump, it's a Quake habit. That it's called a disc jump, or actually a bolt jump in this case, with this weapon. So I use nitron, 254 speed here. Hopefully I have enough energy regained, you can see it in the bottom left, to not need to use another jump on this next hill. And I should start regenning now. Yeah, there we go. Now, I'm not great at this run. There are better cappers such as Matin from Team Working as Intended. But you'll see this route in just a second. So I'll be asking my teammates to disrupt. I'd get the flag and I would get away. I failed the nitron jump. It wasn't hit as well as it would have. I would have gone over this hill. But that was a right to left route, coming in from the right and exiting through the left. The other one was a front to back route. In short, you can do this on pretty much every map. It's one of the great things about Tribes, and if you do start playing this game, I recommend you figure out the movement for yourselves. Learn how to move is basically learning how to play the game at a high level. Easy road to high divs, some would say, if you were going to play this competitively. and then working on your aim and your team coordination can come later. But movement really is the fundamentals of TribesAscend. It's a combination of using your jetpack to go upwards and skiing, going downwards, and using things like disc jumps and spin fuser and nitron jumps to increase your speed.